Hey now, it's The Rob from 106.1 KISS FM alongside my broadcast cohorts.
Hey, it's Eric Cordes from 99.5 WKDQ, Thursday edition of the Enhancement Talent. As we roll on talking about all things wrestling. And, somebody asked me earlier today, do you just talk about WWE or you talk about other things? I said, mainly we talk about WWE. If somebody else gives us other things, worthy of talking about. TNA not quite doing it yet. Maybe eventually Jeff Jarrett will give us some stuff to talk about.
I'm going to say I doubt it with Jeff Jarrett. We'll see. I hung with TNA for a very long time. I think around 2010, though, I bailed. I would go anywhere where Kurt Angle is working. If I can watch him on TV, I will.
That makes sense.
But the show became very, very tough for me to watch. There was no booking. I felt like I was seeing the same thing over and over again. It was always in the same venue. I hate that. I wish that it would move around a little bit, but TNA lost me.
Yeah, I've been trying to watch it more lately, just to see if something noteworthy happens. It hasn't got there yet, but it's at least got my attention a little bit more than in the Hulk Hogan days. But I'm more interested in watching everything that happens on the WWE Network because there's so much good stuff out there.
The network has been such a great tool, I think, for wrestling fans and such a great way to watch things. Even I enjoyed the event on Sunday, Extreme Rules, more so. I don't even want to call it a pay-per-view anymore because I didn't pay anything more for it.
You can't really call it that. Special event is, I think, what they're calling it.
I enjoyed it much more because I didn't have the mental struggle of, do I want to buy this show? Do I want to go somewhere and watch this show? Am I getting together with people to watch this show? I could just sit there. It was stress-free and it literally free. Like, I love that about it. It really enhanced my experience of watching that show.
I love that more stuff is on there now. The Clash of Champions have been added, which I think is great. I hear Saturday night's main event is coming next.
That's coming next. One thing I like that they have not just sat around with this. There was, a bevy of content in the very beginning, but I wanted it to grow, and it has been growing.
Yeah,
I watched the old Monday Night Raws, and it was for a while was just all the Raws from 1993, and now I see that they're slowly but surely filling up 1994. It makes me happy.
Here's the one thing, we've talked about so many good things about the WWE Network. Here's one thing I want to talk about that may, and it's not a horrible thing, but it is something of note of the WWE Network that may not be as good as it used to be. These special events, or pay-per-views as they used to be called, now they're not relying on those buys. So they may not be relying on the shows to really do a lot. As we saw on this past Monday Night Raw, it's funny because we praised the show and how good Extreme Rules was on Monday. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to stick by it. I think it was a great show. But now watching Monday Night Raw, I don't think it was as good as we originally thought because nothing was blown off. And here we go. All of the feuds continue.
Okay.
And not all of them in a good way, in my opinion.
There's two big statements you made there. One, I agree. I felt like nothing was ended at the pay-per-view. However, not a lot of things that I want to see ended. I will say I kind of want to see Kane move on. I'm sorry, Daniel Bryan move on from Kane. I think that's kind of below where he should be personally. But Cena and Wyatt I'm okay with. And I will say this, while that is a fear of mine happening in the future, because they're not trying to quote-unquote sell us these pay-per-views anymore, the two shows that they've had on the network have been grand slams, in my opinion. WrestleMania and Extreme Rules were two great shows. And when you keep in mind what the network's trying to do, that's one of their big selling points, is you get these events for free. They're going to want to keep the quality of those pretty good.
Yeah, you would hope.
Even before pay-per-view was a thing, and it was like Madison Square Garden was their pay-per-views at the time. Like, they still made those special. And I think that every month they're going to make a special show.
Yeah, and I think it was special. Like I said, we praised it on Monday.
Right.
I just was unhappy with kind of where the storylines had ended up on Monday night when we watched Raw, especially, as you said, Daniel Bryan and Kane. I was very disappointed Monday night on the direction that feud went. Yeah,
that became a little hokey with the car stuff. Putting a car into a feud never makes it better for me. I don't like wrestling in cars. You can point to many examples in the past of it just not working for me.
I'll give you one, and if you've never seen it, look it up.
Is it
Jerry Lawler
Oh.
and Eddie Gilbert? Look that one up.
Okay.
That one was good.
My favorite was when Goldberg tried to start his car on Raw the one time and couldn't get it to start, stalled out or whatever.
Yeah.
But or even when Goldberg tried to break the window.
Yes.
Was Bret Hart in that car?
I don't know, but that was around the same time. It was just horrible.
And yeah, he broke his hand, and just wrestling in cars for me is not a good mix. And that was. I'm just ready for a more legitimate feud with Daniel Bryan. The Cena Wyatt stuff to me, which is my favorite part of the show right now, which is why I keep going to it. I don't want that to blow off. I want that to keep on going. So I'm okay
with that. Yeah.
What else? Did anything else Shield?
Well, the Shield, with the Shield getting the first victory and a pretty decisive victory over Evolution, I'm surprised they're keeping that going. I really am.
What do you mean?
Because I thought if they were going to keep the feud going, I'm surprised that Evolution didn't pull out some kind of underhanded victory or get it overturned because of the Authority or whatever. But or have one of the Shield members turn and join, or have Flair come out and be a big swerve from the other night. When he praised Shield, but he's really with Evolution. I thought something like that would happen to give Evolution the victory if this wasn't going to be the blow off. So to have Shield get such a decisive victory, that's odd to me.
I'll tell you this: one thing I'm happy about is that, and I've turned the corner on this too. I've done a 180. I'm happy you're not hearing a lot about the Shield splitting up anymore.
Right.
Because I don't want them to anymore.
No, I don't either.
And I think that would be completely harmful to everyone involved, including Roman Reigns, who everyone has as this next big star. I think that if he leaves the Shield, he's going to flounder quite a bit. If you want my honest opinion, and you may agree with this, you may disagree with this, he's my least favorite part of the Shield. If I had to rank them, Roman Reigns, I know he's the internet's child. Everyone, he's the darling. He's the next big thing in wrestling fans' eyes. I believe either one of the other Shield members, Dean Ambrose or Seth Rollins, could have a stronger career singles than Roman Reigns could.
I think Roman Reigns is more of the WWE style guy that they like, and I think that's why everybody thinks he's going to be the next big thing. And I do too. But I like the other two guys. I like their facials. I like the way that they work in the ring.
If you want my honest opinion, the best promo of the three is Dean Ambrose.
Absolutely. And
the best worker of the three, in my opinion, is Seth Rollins.
Yes, you got it.
So that's the way I put that. So I think he's going to struggle. Everyone's got him as the breakout star. Oh, the Royal Rumble was his night and all this kind of stuff. I believe they are better as a unit than as three individuals.
Yeah, I think I like that they've kept them together. I think that's a good idea. And one quick note before we end part one here, just a little thing of note which I told you, and I found this out the other day.
What's that?
So the little Wyatt member, the young man,
right,
that sang to John Cena.
Listen to this.
He's got a connection to the wrestling business, and I found this out on the internet. Unbelievable. He is actually the son of the character that played Jameson, the man that played Jameson, the guy that came out with the Bushwhackers, the nerd that was on Primetime Wrestling. That is the legit son of Jameson.
He may have already made a bigger dent in the wrestling business than his dad has.
Yeah, probably.
Do you think this young boy could fill the Legacy tag team, Cody Rhodes, and what was their tag team name?
The Legacy, yeah. He could be another second generation.
Orton, you maybe get Ted DiBiase Jr. back, we get Cody Rhodes back, and we
Jameson Jr.
Jameson Jr., exactly.
Love it. Anyway, that's going to conclude part one for us here.
Part two is going to be exciting, though.
Oh, yeah. We're going to kind of go in-depth. I'll take you inside the locker rooms of some regional and local promotions, let you know what to expect.
Last week, if you didn't watch Monday's episode, I asked Eric if he's ever been in any lousy locker rooms. And he said that there are some stories, and he wasn't ready to share them yet. But today is the day. And he said he will name some names, and it's going to be a good episode.
At least one name coming your way.
So stay tuned for part two, crappy wrestling locker rooms with the Enhancement.
As we jive out.